here right now as they kick off over towards the B side of things. All 5 members, a little bit of utility.
Utility over the top. Here it is, you know, Virtus Pro, one of the best when it comes to the T side of Ancient. We talk about Ancient as being so CT sided. Well, Virtus Pro, they can make it look easy. Monacy, you've had enough. He's gonna have to sit this pistol out. Pistol conversions for G2, very strong on Mirage, but this one is a bomb planted for Virtus Pro. Dual Berettas within the cave. We've got still some utility for the retake for G2, so let's hope for their sake that the picture is clear. Deep smoke over towards ramp. That could deal with Buster. Now look at the attention drawn away from Pint. Hunter, he needs to deliver, and he will that first. And James gonna bring it back. Oh, it's labored. And he's not gonna find his kill. We've got a defuse coming through, and that smoke grenade worth its weight in gold. G2 start this CT side with a pistol round win.
Another pistol right there, and that utility is absolutely key. They were intending to give up the B site the entire time. The keep was cave, so they might have had to have just, oh, okay, Jax. They might have had to have adjusted a little bit on the fly there with the cave smoke and the B long smoke, but they were playing retake out the gate. That was the whole game plan right there for G2, and a massive way to pick things up. VP looked great with the opening. Oh, that's my favorite little water bug. All right, we'll get on the emails to Valve. We'll see if we can get that one fixed. Is that deep long door smoke lands, the extinguish on the molly, and Nico wants to get stuck in early.
He wants this fight, but maybe getting a little bit more than he would hope for. Famas chewed up, spat out, and pressure pushed upon the shoulders of Monacy, who, for the moment, is doing quite well. With Hunter coming into this bomb site, the A1S ablaze. He shoots down 2. James cut off. Alexi B kind of pinched between these 2 Ts, but fast enough to shut down the one on ramp. Game time. Oh, Jax brings it back. That's the 2-0 start. Looking good for G2, but all things considered, you know, pressure from Virtus Pro right out of the gate in back-to-back rounds. Do they play that typical, like, slower T side? Like, why do they win so many rounds?
Some of the keys here, right? I think when you have your Kinder as the player going out for that cave control, pointed out in the plan of attack by Mahone, right? He's difficult to deal with, right? So I want to turn my attention towards your Kinder and if he's able to patrol that part of the map, because for me, it's the most important piece. Now, we also spoke about the mid utility here. They haven't thrown the smoke with it, so an indication if G2 have done their homework that it's not the mid play. Back towards B we go one more time, and 3 defenders on the site. Alexi, Nico, and Jax all close here. Ready to deal with this.
On the forefront. I am very curious to see if Nico can get the game started a bit faster than he did on Mirage. Famas from Jax looks good. Ooh, Yakinder team kill. Definitely not going to help Virtus Pro in this situation. And if they had come through off the back of that flash, they would have found 2 CTs blind, but instead they hold. They wait, and they've got more than enough time.
Yeah, a bit of a problem. They didn't get a huge amount of real estate here. You can see cave. They could grab it if they like and be long. Still some questions to be asked, but Alexi up close and personal with the MP9. Not an easy fight for Kickit to win. Nico, he's not shying away. Has had a rough go of things here today so far, but happy to take the fights. Kinder walking in, see if he can make up for that TK. Another smoke drop, perfectly timed. Kinder will be held at bay, but at least they're limping and buying through this utility. Just 1 smoke remaining on this CT side, and it resides with Hunter, who's currently out of the picture. Cave control taken. A little bit of util if they want to finish towards B.
Oh, the timing there, Alexi, he just looked away. Now suddenly, I mean, there's no way Alexi expects this kind of pressure this close. So Kicker, his timing? Oh, his timing looked good, but the shot off the mark. Yakinder looking to bring it back as James trades. A 1v3 with 2 players still up. Hunter gonna swing out wide, and I love that pressure. G2 know what they want, and they stop it right then, right there. No space offered to the T side of VP early.
Now here's the thing, right? We know that this can be quite a CT-sided map. We've already built it up to say VP have a good T side. We're only 3 rounds in. Now if you were here for Mirage, you would have understood this is how it started for G2 over there in both halves. So this is par for the course at this juncture. The bomb not going down means we're not gonna get a buy. Maybe we will coming on through. The money isn't there for a full buy. We saw James do similar scenes earlier, getting that hero AK out, and a smile on Alexi's face. So they're enjoying themselves here, G2 on the big stage. Hunter forward, clears out close mid. Nobody home. Alexi over towards cave. They have a lot of map control here early.
These poor T's. Unless they just wait. Why not? You know, he's trying to set up James to succeed. And the extension, almost. ends Nico. Instead, he'll walk back with just a little bit of HP. Yakinder from within that pocket was unable to get anything, as those players were once upon a time outside of Cave. G2 recede.
They're inviting them in. They want them to push on up. Look at this decision from Nico here. Good for two.
Beautiful. Poor Yakinder never saw it coming. Flit the next to fall. Those unarmored heads popped as they walked in to that B bomb site yet again. The consistency in the targeting from Virtus.pro, B side of the map, but also a consistency in pressure has been Nico at the forefront.
This is key, right? If they're able to get that mid control every time on the CT side, there's so many options on this map at the moment. You can play aggro as a CT. I want maybe some of our older viewers to go back to Cash or Cage, depending on where you're from. The aggressive mid plays. You're able to get up close, you're able to get in the vent rooms. Think about this map similar, right? You get up towards the B lane, you jump up Tetris. You also have a lot of options to play extremely passive. So VP, they need to get some real estate. It's the same mid utility that was highlighted, right? That no smoke means we're not so worried about mid. Back towards B lane, through the flames, Yakinder goes.
So again, oh, he wants this. Every single round he's fighting for this. He's got a fight versus Buster that he loses. Ooh, the jump back from Jax almost costs him his life, but he still has a chance.
Huge.
And he takes it.
That is massive.
It's got James on the other end, who sure enough is able to keep this trade train rolling forward. Steam being gained by VP towards B. But we do still have one locked into the caves. Don't forget about it. That's going to be Alexi, MP9, relegated to the lesser weaponry. And you talked about the passiveness and that possibility for the CTs to sit back. This is a prime example of it. They completely forfeit that A site, though.
There's a lot to address here for G2, right? They can respond from CT spawn, so Hunter doesn't have to go too far. Monacy, now that he is over towards the B bomb site, can call this clear. And that activates Alexi B to go for an in-game leader info play if he likes.
If he times it properly, then maybe Monacy's able to sprint over to the A site, but for now it's going to be Hunter under pressure. Oh, that's a clean headshot. That is exactly what he would hope for, because now the other two players feel that extra bit of pressure. He's got them scrambled.
Doing it on his own.
And he drops the bomb in the middle of it all. Flip's going to try to chase. Locked down by Hunter.
Oh, wanted to see him catch fire. Nico said if they do, maybe this is it, right? That first map, maybe they're believing right here, right now. Right now, Flit, 0-5. He was such a huge factor in map number 1, and a timeout will be called. Dustin, the coach, a chance for him to get in on the mic. Now look, you're not going to count VP out when the scoreline's 5-0. I'm not going to count him out if the scoreline's 8-0, right? This is the type of team that is going to bounce and battle back into things. But you want to see them get activated early. We had such a great map number 1, right? The back and forth nature, the clutches, the one-on-ones. You want to see them being able to cause a bit of a weak point here. Now this, I believe, is a 5-map winning streak for VP on Ancient. The desk would be talking about it. However, at the major, it was one of their weaknesses that they turned it into one of their strengths. And then since, it's been one of the maps that they've been looking quite dominant on. Here in Katowice, they won over NIP 16-8. ESL Challenger just a short time ago, they won over the Movistar Riders 16-3. So it's a map that they are extremely competent at. Back to the pistols here. So they're feeling the brunt of this one early. Honestly, he's only got 1 kill, so he's not needed so far.
Listen, man, he could just punch out for the day. His job was done on Mirage. Flit's gonna give chase with that Tech 9 and makes things a little curious. I mean, VP, you cannot sleep on these kinds of buys, but Nico's consistency at fighting down this ramp rears its head yet again in round 6. That rifle picked up in the hands of Flit. His cold start heating up ever so slightly. And there are still supportive elements here. I mean, the beauty of this buy from VP is they come in with utility, and it's Monacy.
Temple Smoke perfectly placed here.
Ooh, he shaves Yakinder off, lets the first one pass, knows about the A-long player because of the grenades, so this is information very much in the hands of G2. And Alexi B comes out from CT spawn, and this is without considering the eventuality of Hunter through the donut. What about James?
It's interesting that James threw the utility and he's opted for this.
Nico's still here.
Yeah.
One Tech 9 shot is all it takes to dink up Nico, finish him quickly, and that bomb's still definitely in tow.
Alexi B's unknown, though.
Hunter should cut it off, and does so, which suddenly makes James' position seem useless at that. A nice attempt. I love the rock back and forth, definitely keeping G2's CT side on its toes, giving us an example of their rotations, but ultimately still just racked up round wins on the side of G2. Clean start here on Ancient.
That was very, very nice there from Monacy to have the awareness that there was always the gap to come on through short. So picks that one up, and finally we'll see VP get the AWP out in the hands of James. Issues kick it onto a Galil, Mac 10 for Yakinder, so not the best of buys. The best they can muster, and actually, so Yakinder could have bought into an AK. he has a good-looking B spawn right now, and he's opted to go for this Mac 10. So it might be quick over towards Cave.
All right. I mean, it's been B almost every single round, so why not go ahead and throw it again? We've got a fire at their feet. Nico, good collateral shot that Flip manages to survive. Of course, we've got presence inside of Caves and a quick rotate from Hunter as well, just outside of it. I mean, Virtus Pro, yes, you've got this bomb site, but talk about being under pressure. Kicker, who still doesn't have a kill on Ancient, is looking to closely press up against this smoke, but Jax on the attack with a triple inside this bomb site. James' chance to clutch, shut down as Nico solidifies a 7th for G2.
All 5 members staying alive here. Okay, you know I said 8, we get a little bit worried. Look, let's wait a couple more. The double AWPs are out, and that has been identified from VP, right? Okay, Nico's rocking one, Mondesi the other. We've actually got to saw its impact right here, so they 100% know it's in play. Will that make them more execute heavy? Right, that's a question. Do you want to wait out the clocks and then use a lot of utility? Because so far they're running through the flames, they're running through the smokes, they're putting themselves in disadvantageous positions very, very early. 3 AKs and 2 AWPs on the CT side. That's how well things are going here.
Hunter's mid control goes unchecked yet again. Oh, and Alexi gets the nade kill. That's beautiful. He sets himself up with the alley-oop. But now Buster's on the front end of this smoke. Oh, but just as he turns away, we got shots hitting him in the back. He does not feel comfortable. He's expecting maybe Nico to push down ramp. Obviously, Alexi is literally being a nuisance. And all the while, we still have VP sitting with bomb outside of mid. An exploration party sent towards A main. We've got Mondesi on the other end of this. James going to be boosted here, trying to hunt him back site, but a much more passive angle being held bodes well for G2.
Things are looking great for G2 here. Look at the numbers they have over towards this side of the map. Normally it's just one player, he's isolated, he's taking one line and falling back, but they're reading the play very well here. That early space has set Mondesi up for success.
He holds on to his belt of utility, and a second attempt for the jump up from James, and it works wonderfully. Counter picks the Opper. Jack's gonna give a little bit of space here. But again, we've got a bomb that's still down outside of middle. And for the time being, Buster's completely cut off from this. So they send a player back and leave James alone for now. He's got Hunter and Jax to maybe deal with, but do they need to go for the peak, or can they just play reactive? They decide to try and take a chance. James piecing together the picture here and doing everything that his team needs on this A site. 15 seconds as bomb finally gets into position, but with so many players now, Jax, he knows he's being held. That is all James to be able to get them into this bomb site. Very slow, very meticulous, but he visualized this image, this defense, and he just unraveled it piece by piece. Very nicely done for VP to get onto the scoreboard. It's not flashy, it's not explosive, but it works.
I think patience is a virtue in this type of situation, right? Because if we look through just the amount of utility that G2 are throwing at the start of these rounds, right, that right there is what's stifling them over towards B and middle. You can have so many early responders. This is great, right, James? Understanding the lines, you saw multiple little towers set up to look for those type of peaks. This is a great shot from him as well there. And you're right, it was methodical play, right? They were making sure that they didn't take any risks, and that was one of the keys as well for them over in Mirage to make such a competitive affair. But if you're VP and you understand that they're getting the double molly defense mid, meaning to run through that, it's not going to be any easy feat. And then over towards B, you're being harassed by the wallbang. They have the mid control. They're picking up from ledge. Nico has no dramas pushing down long as well. They want to harass that side of the map. If you are VP at this point, you can feign that control, right? You can feign the pressure over there, and you can turn your attention elsewhere. Because with that utility, you can make a good assumption. There's 2 players B and there's 2 players mid, right? There's a clear weakness here, which could be that A bomb site.
Now curious to see how it goes about keeping things fresh. Flashes outside of middle. Much more quicker pace to this one from Virtus Pro in terms of the mid fight. It's not going to allow for Hunter to just prance his way around up onto the shelf to help out outside of cave.
But Connor, look at this. They've had to use all of their smokes just to get this space.
They tried to go top mid, and that's where Hunter's going to meet them. So from this aggressive push to the bottom of middle every single round to suddenly the passiveness of reside. Oh, being inside the red room, Yakinder's got an answer. Just going to remind them, the individual level on VP, there's no star on this team necessarily, statistically, but everybody delivers.
They're in a nice little line right now. So 2 players in mid, 2 over towards B lane. That Utah will become an issue. Do they want to send the headhunter out of Yakinda looking for a little bit more? Do they want to try and play the numbers? Because, well, cutting noise, no audibles here is forcing G2 to ask some questions.
A warning by form of flashbang. Alexi gonna tuck into the corner blind. He's been spotted, that's a problem. It's gonna draw the Opera up in Nico, and he snaps down Buster at the very least, but then the counter pick from James. Jax comes in with a kill elsewhere, and Alexi's just trying to buy time as they attack him in the corner. Kicker gets him. James though, oh, knife out, bomb down, and Kicker nowhere to be found as he has to double back down ramp through a smoke of all things. That mid push, the frag versus Yakinder, even though that B site falls, everything else was going the way of G2. Kicker's gonna take this back. It's him versus Jax, 10 seconds left. He just needs the kill, and Jax locks it down. Standing in the open, ready to fight. He kicks him back down the ramp and says, go next. 8-1 for G2.
Really brave from Jax. 7 seconds left and he's going to stand in the middle of the site. All he had to do was deny the plant right there. So it works on out, and a massive shot from him and a massive shot from Yakinda here. That made it interesting. Great stuff onto Hunter right there. Look, the survivability of Alexi, it doesn't look flashy. He doesn't get a lot done as far as the stat lines, but it bought enough time for Nico to get there, and that's so mental. 9 seconds. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, back in the winning ways. G2 up 8-1.
Oh, again? I mean, we saw this from the... Oh, but Buster, what goes around comes around. Alexi spams him right back. Not tethering there from Alexi. That is perfect. That is perfect. Because if not, we're talking Nico dead, and yes, you've got a player inside this B site, but Yakinder could have been inside of Cave by then. It would have joined nicely with a mid play that is coming from Flit. Yakinder tries to continue this fight, and Alexi's gonna scale it back. Massive contrast to Mirage in terms of Flit's early performance.
Look at this.
Oh, he doesn't miss!
How much more does this kid have to do? He's on the site almost lonesome here. Alexi's still staying close by, but you can see he wants to cheat on over and Flit. Has a lot of space here. Spotted now. Hunter with a couple of warning shots.
But it's such a dangerous game for VP to play if they want to go into those red rooms. Being drawn towards the threat. We've got this lean from G2 back towards this A site, where sure enough, everybody's coming. We've got the smoke down in front of them. Jax cuts off the front runner and Flit, so again, he's gonna fall empty-handed, but James, through smoke, through the edge of that wall, could put Hunter into the most perfect of positions. But there's still time. There is still time, and there are still options. We've got a Molotov keeping this attention drawn towards the A site, but the bomb is nowhere to be found. And Hunter's buying all the time in the world. 15 seconds, bomb through Cave. That's all they've got to work with. And Alexi, he needs to deliver. The peak is right here, and it's an easy shutdown for him. James was assuming that they would have taken that hook, line, and sinker, but he only had 2 of the 3 CTs on that side of the map.
Yeah, a couple of silly games here from VP, right? Trying to manipulate these rotations, but, you know, G2, they're not falling for it. They're not going to over-rotate here. They're not going to get skittish in these scenarios. I like that they're setting the tempo here, right? They're trying to dictate. They're not allowing VP to set the tone. Always harassing over towards B lane, whether it's through B long, whether it's through the cave position, or it's jumping up mid-ledge. Now, this was good. You know, Jax with a couple of extra traces there. James will convert that one. But just the fact they were so strung out, I think normally you'd see VP go for a save in that environment. Here on the stage, they've opted to try some silly games, and, well, it's cost them. Back down to some pistol upgrades. Next round to play max loss bonus. AK, Galil, and back towards B. This is just going to be another play running into the wall.
But it's going better than it has before. Good wall spam from Alexi and Nico with the fire on their feet. This is everything. Yeah, you can have some posturing. Yeah, you can take this bomb site, but it's G2 to take every player down. Flit finally an answer as he swaps onto the AK and looks for cover, looks for safety, but there is no net to save him. He gets caught, captured, killed, and culled as G2 take that 10-1 lead.
This is beautiful stuff, right? This is absolutely beautiful stuff right here. Them coming into Ancient, there's so many question marks. They've only played this map twice since we've had the new additions to the roster. For them, this is maybe where Alexi gets to do some of his better work, right? He can prep a game plan that is specific for the way that VP want to address this T side. Now, up until this point, I spoke about a 5-map winning streak for them. The last 2 more easy than the ones that came before. They have to dig deep now, right? A 10-5 half, even an 11-4 half on a map like this, they aren't done, right? This is looking extremely one-sided because it is, but there's a chance that they can turn things around and put up a CT side of their own. It needs to start now. Like Flit, after that, a massive performance. He's quiet. 2 kills, 3 for Yakinda, 2 for Kicker. Where's the impact going to come from? Oh, Yakinda's burnt down again.
Virtus.pro playing this one on hard mode. Mentioned it once, we'll say it again, though. This is a team that fights tooth and nail, and a side of Ancient that can kind of skewer expectations.
Well, they all had a fight. Different pace to this one, right? They're still running through the flames early. They're still using a lot of utility to try and fight for this control, but they've lost so much, and they have not a lot to operate with. It's a misread right now. Look at what G2 have opted to do here. They've hedged their bets, so it's all on Alexi.
He's got these wall banks figured out. Meanwhile, that is the top mid player down. Alexi tucks into the other end, and dead. Buster gonna win that head-to-head duel. And this looks good for Virtus.pro. Like you've been alluding to, man, it's not too late. It's never too late to rack up just 1 or 2 more T rounds on Ancient. But if they take their time, it will give a sliver of hope to G2 to get back into the positions that they have not occupied since the very start of this round. It's over. It's over.
Yeah, massive misread here. I don't know what Alexi was... Look, I guess because the play's been constantly B, you're eventually assuming that they are going to hit that A bomb site. That's where their only round has come from, right? So that's a read from Alexi there that's gone wrong. There was so much damage done, they weren't able to convert any of it, and they're just walking into the site for free. So like we had on Mirage in the overtime where Alexi just ran his team into the B bomb site, right? And they were able to convert one. Almost similar scenes here for VP. They had to work a little bit harder, but they will be getting their second. And if this opens the levy right now, if they're able to compound a couple more, yeah, they might have issues here, G2, once they get over to their T side. Hasn't been the easiest for them to get even to this point.
Never has the second round felt so good for Virtus.pro.
It doesn't come easier, does it?
No. And it leaves a door open, right? But a door that feels like it could be just as quickly closed. If we get this contrast back to Nico going down ramp and meeting them outside of this B site, don't count out G2 in terms of finishing off this half strong.
That save may have bought them 1 extra gun round here if they continue to lose. So that might really come into play for G2 as we stare down the barrel here of the last 3 rounds. Mid util in the air. One of the smokes is missed here, I think.
Ooh, Flick goes around it, finds some timing. Oh, nice flick. m0NESY just shuts him down yet again. From the leader of opening kills to the leader of opening deaths. Flick has not been able to posture throughout this first 15, and Yakinder, well, he's hunting down Alexi B, who has been keen to take these fights inside of Cave, just attacking them either at the top of mid or down towards bottom ramp. He's been a nuisance.
It's not like Alexi's signed anybody else up to help him with that game plan. He's done it almost on his lonesome here. Now a top red smoke will land. The initial from spawn missed, and unfortunately for Flit, I think that was a big reason why they could laser focus on his position. Much different of a CT side setup this time round, and more space for VP to work with too.
They may have noticed that they haven't been peaked from top mid. What was a consistent element? G2's hold, just at least a set of prying eyes over top. Hunter tries to move into it. Utility gonna land on Alexi. That's gonna screw with him. But 2 smokes go down from G2 at that 40-second mark, and there is still pressure coming through it. Kinder's gonna have to wait as he regains vision. Kicker, oh, this could be a beautiful timing. And you can even see that bomb ambiguous. Where's the opening gonna come from VP? If they can even manage it. But ever closer.
Oh, the timing!
That's great. Kicker, flawless. And Yakinder gonna offer one too. Oh! Make that 3 headshots instantaneous from VP. And of course, there's just a little left in that tank. Of course, there's just a little life left on the line. So perfectly timed, every single one of those kills, Chad.
That's crazy, that timing right there. We were on board with Kicker the entire time. They're just finding it. And Hunter, right, he wasn't whimpering, he wasn't turning, he was doing his job, and then eventually gets called over to assist the B-bomb site. And that is what fell apart. So another save looking likely here for G2. Just look at this timing. We had the X-ray. You could see Hunter, he didn't look away at all. And then eventually gets called on over. You've got Nico looking the wrong way. Last member pinned over towards the cubby. He goes down as well of Alexi B. And this one is done and dusted. 10-3.
And that's that opening.
Yeah, you'd be so happy with a 10-5 half at this point. Yep. Look, with the way this one started, a 10-5 half on the way out the door, it's starting to believe again. VP, they're in a really good position now to do exactly that. And the cash is here by virtue of these saves for one last buy for G2. And if they lose a site early again, then it's going to be more of the same. Look, it hasn't been the most exciting Counter-Strike for the last couple of rounds. Does that mean that G2 now thrust themselves into the fight? They've seen them so aggressive towards middle, aggressive towards B lane. There's a lot of different options they could go for here. If they want to try going aggro A main and have like a flank coming through, it's something that VP might not account for.
Maybe a couple more rounds for G2 to give us something on this defensive half. Smokes deep, more mid control. This is more like what we had at the start of the half from Hunter. Now, is it expected? That's the question. Looking for it. He's not alone here whatsoever. Oh, peeks on both sides, but Nico picks up the op frag, and then they immediately fall back. It doesn't look like they're trying to end this here and now. It looks like they're just trying to pick up that little bit of an edge, a sliver, a sharper blade perhaps. Alexi, oh, the wide swing. Sprays right into what was the keen push of Yakinder and Flit. The peek back from Kicker will shut down Hunter at the very least. It wouldn't be the first 2v5 tonight. But it's Nico inside of caves. On the retreat. A little bit of more map control here for VP. What about timing? Oh, gets another headshot. And slowly but surely they are opening this wound until Nico, he puts an end to it.
A lot of time here for James. Does he give this round a crack? He can have a look in with the AWP. No utility to make this one easier, and you can see the passive stance that's being assumed. No easy kills to find here, and if they force him to start planting the bomb, they can just run him down.
Ooh. He's not going to get drawn too close to that one. Fumbling with the bomb, he doubles back, but now he's got a problem. There's two CTs to the left, deals with one, does get back around the corner, fake plant yet again. Now it's a pistol versus Nico. Oh no, Jane.
To plan, he's got time.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, it's gonna come so close. Oh, time. Talk about Jane time.
Jeez, that was so close, and he gets the final kill there. He's able to take down Monacy. The final frag of the round did fall his way, but only just.
Oh.
It felt good, didn't it? He pushes, he forces this fight. If he just was on the mark, he could have got that bomb down. Pulls out the P250, runs down Nico, understanding the situation.
Look at this, just shy.
Oh.
He's on it. Ah.
Well, another clutch from Odyssey there, huh? Yeah. Keeps racking him up, another one-on-one. Looking good for the stats, but the cash has been shattered over there for G2, even with the round win. Enough money to get the AWP out for one last ride. Round number 15, M4 for Nico. The rest are strapped for cash. Might be a couple of MP9s, maybe a FAMAS or two. U2 going to be a bit of a drama. Defuse kits, yet to see one purchased up. And no one can afford, so they'll be rocking into round number 15 with some emissions. Very grindy here from VP just to grab these three. Let's see, can they make it 4? Smoked off again, warning shot of the AWP, immediately identifying where James is. And well, this is a different look, right? Spoke about the chance to have a different look on the CT side. Well, this is it. And the MP9 at this range.
Fine, not a problem.
I think I might even prefer it in some instances.
Ooh. Little posturing going on at the top of that B site. Yeah, Nico, he's gonna fall back with the smoke grenade in hand. Jax comes back at this. Woo! Just getting around that corner.
Icing with death, aren't they?
Jax loves a dance. Hunter, whether he knows it or not, has Flit just breathing down his neck. If he's thinking more about the mid-cross, then he's never even gonna see it. The Flit makes a lot of sound. Oh, and he's able to just whip it into the face of Hunter.
2 here, though.
That could be a crucial error, but we'll see if Jax's position will find these T's off guard. Kicker's down beneath, they go for the boost. Jax not able to get it, but Alexi sure will. And as he swaps into the AK, now suddenly the donut push is completely cut off, so we still have options open for VP.
Around the world again.
He's heading towards the B site. Only Monacy's here. And Nico's floating between both ends of this map. Monacy, perfect timing as he peeks into Jane. And he knows that Yakinder's in here, but he opts not to go for the fight. Intelligent decision, drops smoke instead and cools off this push for VP. But this is the final and 15. And Monacy's gonna stand his ground at the B site. Yakinder, drenched in desperation, will run haphazardly into Alexi, who masterminded that final round. A 12-3 half for G2. CT sides are the bread and butter of Ancient. but this map belongs to VP.
When this smoke fades, we need to be ready.
Come, we'll take the fade here.
Go, Yari. I will go stay. Hold my tempo.
I'm making step, Julian.
Commandeering lead, G2 will attempt to take the 4th consecutive pistol round win in this series. And at 12-3, it matters all the more.
I think their conversions have been pretty tidy here as well. They picked this one up. The red carpet is being laid on out, and we all know what that means. Na'Vi wait in the semi-finals. G2 just 4 rounds away from locking that in. The major grand final rematch on the cards.
Oh,
Monacy versus Simple.
Oh, man.
Only 4 rounds away, but let's see if VP have anything to say about that. CT side for them in the second half. Their map choice, let's see why.
Got that double smoke, flash, and Molotov for this T-side execute, and already a grouping outside of the bomb site. But the numbers are here for Virtus Pro. Despite their best efforts, they were unkillable on Mirage, and now VP could very well be sent out of this event with a whimper instead of a bang. But it really does hinge on this pistol.
Very patient stuff here. They're hoping the CTs go a little bit aggressive, right? You can see just how passive they are. And, well, finally, someone might greet their gaze.
Yeah, but what if they greet him with a bullet to the head? It's right there, and Hunter knows it.
Saw something.
Oh, he falls back. And then suddenly we get this little bit of life out of G2. They get the smoke grenades out of the top. So good job on Yakinder to at least elicit the execute, but he doesn't kill anybody himself, and neither will the T side. We're looking at the potential 10-man post plant. Oh, it's damage one way. CTs get out of there unscathed.
There's no kit. They have a smoke, but there's no kit.
They're anticipating some kind of a wrap. We've got all 5 players on this back line for the CT spawn, and that smoke cuts off 3 of the Ts from G2. Now the boost over top could give an angle to Hunter, a valuable angle at that. Jax gets a kill through smoke. Modesty also able to tap. Yakinder and James, they bring it back to the even 3v3. Bomb, it's already ticking so quickly, and Flit, well, him and James, they're scrambling to get on top. We're talking 10-second defuse. Great cover here from Flit. Jax, he still has time to stop it, but he doesn't think they're committing, and it comes down to the wire. They got it. A 5v5 retake is what keeps VP in this.
You gotta got some massive balls to go for something like that. The fact there's no kit in play, they wait out the smokes, they retake it in that variety right there. That could have gone wrong in so many different ways.
Damn.
But finally VP get a pistol, and that could be the beginning of something. That could be the beginning right now of VP starting to surge into this game. Now that plant, we all know what that means. A bit of extra cash to splash. I can't believe it. James just trusted in his boys right here, hoping the bodyguards can get it done, and they do. But this is a force fight coming out here. Some Galils, some MAC-10s.
Trying to take down VP before they really get their CT ball rolling.
Well, this is the best chance to do so. You don't want them to start fortifying the defense here. The AWPs come out, the rifles come out. They have all that utility they need. G2, if they want to crack this one, if they want to get it done with ease, that could have been perfect. Tags either way. Jame low, Hunter too.
Flash is perfect. Buster caught, but we've still got Yakinder backside. He fires off. Oh my God, Nico turns his back as if Jax has him covered, and he lands it.
They're gonna save.
No way. They've got them on the back foot. G2 puncture through this B bomb site with just a couple of perfectly timed flashbangs.
Was Nico running in first there with the MAC-10 in hand?
Yeah.
He just set up Jax. Nico is normally the one, you know, he's having other players going first. It's normally Jackie Boy the one going in first to open up the space. The trust right there, Jax with 2 massive kills. And that's all it took, that's all it takes. And the bounce back immediately, sure, that pistol loss, it stings, it breaks the streak, but winning a round like this is huge. Here it is, you see Jax back turn to the flash, that MAC-10 opening up space, so much faith, doing the perfect job as an entry fragger there, Nico, and he had that trust. That is massive stuff from Jax.
He didn't even so much as give that cubby a glance. Nico, full trust mode. And it works, 13 for G2. They may not have taken all 4 pistols, but a force buy win has to be the kick to the gut of Virtus Pro. The silver lining, they saved.
Better. It might even be better here. I know that they saved, right? But look at what the hodgepodge buy here is. Like, we're getting out a CZ for Yakinda. There's not much cash to splash in terms of utility. This is going to be a very difficult round right now. Look, it still looks like a tidy buy, but remember, next round of play is only going to be a 1900 loss bonus. VP need to hold on tight.
Meanwhile, G2 going to take a couple freebies with the FAMAS and the A1S, and now it's Jax on the Mac 10 attack.
Oh, the pace!
Just blindsided, but Kicker somehow survives that. Jax, I mean, if we have a top down of that, I have no idea. This pace, this tempo, this tenacity from G2, as if they just want to kick their way into that semifinals versus Na'Vi. They want to send a message and end Virtus Pro before they ever have a chance. But Buster, hard cleared by m0NESY. Yakinder, he could get the better of Jax. It seems as if he knows he's in this cubby, and sure enough, his headshot's there. And now all of a sudden, the two T's inside sight, trying to piece it together. Yakinder with another, and Jame.
They're all dead.
Difference. It wasn't the best of buys, but it was enough. A fifth for Virtus Pro.
Okay, that was chaotic there for a moment. That full rotation came in immediately from VP. They had all the responders there when they needed it. That is a hard round to stomach, because you consider how that went down over towards mid. There was such the pace to it. They were able to trade out efficiently. m0NESY with the hard clear, as you mentioned. The fact that he's gone for something that audacious, thinks it could be enough. And Yakinder there doesn't even realize the round is done. Jame gets the kill while he's taking a fight, and they bought themselves a bit of space here.
So back and forth we go. Look at this.
Yeah, the times this has happened in this game, and Jax has been on the receiving end of these flashes more often than not. And that's the type of teammate you want. One to escort the bomb all the way into the side here.
Shoulder to shoulder. m0NESY glued to the bomb plant.
Jame may have misread the situation here.
Oh. Playing with a CZ in the face of AKs. And just like that, we've got G2 with an open A bomb site. This isn't the consistency of the B plays that we saw from VP. This is G2 with their own flavor. A taste of victory on the line as Alexi plants that bomb. And we've got Flit trying to come in through Temple. Oh! It's further damage onto Jax. They're stranded. G2, they are not comfortable in this post plant. NiKo on the edge of the fight, on the edge of the fire. Hunter's committed to the jump up. NiKo's gonna have to push inwards, and he takes Jame down with him. He's burnt to a crisp. Buster's within this bomb site. Jax gives great cover. It draws the attention further away from Hunter, and there it is. A 14th for G2 as we go back and forth for 4 consecutive rounds.
Take a deep breath again. The economy, it's just going to be the discussion here. Until either G2 wins this or VP, they're able to string a couple of consistent rounds together. It's all about the economy. They were up against the ropes as far as the buy went before we even got stuck into this situation, and now even more so. That loss bonus, it really hurts at this stage of the game. Neither team have had it built. Neither team have bought themselves a buffer. The best they can muster, an M4 or FAMAS, some upgraded pistols. This is bleak right now. G2 are set to pick up this map.
2 more, that's all they need. And 2 guns is all that VP have. One of which here in the hands of Yakinder. Can Virtus Pro afford to play back, or do they need to make an early move? Do they need to shave off a man from this G2 roster? Looked like they wanted to posture through the caves, but instead they will bring it back. No chance to relax as Hunter applies a bit more pressure towards mid. Oh, but this, oh no! Jame, he dies out, and Hunter also picks up Flit. A 5 versus 3, and the smoke goes too deep. We've already got G2 beyond it, and now NiKo is not missing shots. He is honed in. Sharp as he needs to be, but remember, Yakinder, he pushed deep down that ramp. And while the T's trickle into this B site, the bomb decides to go backwards. Jax gets the opening, and G2 get this round. We are talking 10 map and match points.
This has to be it. This has to be it. All they have is 1900 as the loss bonus. This is a horrible position for VP to contend. I don't know how they dig themselves out of this hole right here. NiKo, right, that's not what I want to say, he was a non-issue on Mirage, but he was a slow starter, and he's definitely here to play right now. You can see him getting a couple of bangers of kills. That aim, that trademark NiKo aim is in play in the server right here, right now. VP, they need a hero. Nobody having anything bolstered, just the pistols, just the U2. How do they stop this? Going through the paces. G2 just have to sit and wait. Someone will overstep, someone will take a risk.
Ooh, NiKo gets wind of it. Kinder has a smoke that could maybe keep Nico back for a little bit longer, but he already shaves off half of Buster. That's a wounded B site and a 5th player moving over.
Look at this space.
Oh, Hunter from the bushes.
He's hearing it. He's hearing it. He's calming it.